Hello everyone, TJV here, and today we're going to be talking about Ohmwrecker and Delirious and their civil suits against each other. If you do not know what's going on, Ohmwrecker is suing Delirious for many different reasons, and vice versa, H2O Delirious is suing Ohmwrecker for many different reasons. I have a whole playlist talking about their lawsuits against each other. There's a playlist down in the pinned comments if you want to go check out my other videos, but by the title and thumbnail of this video, you probably already know what's going on. Delirious is no longer suing Ohmwrecker, but Ohmwrecker is still suing Delirious. And this is really crazy. It might not seem like a big deal, but this is a huge deal for many different reasons. And I'm gonna get into all of that. But first, I just gotta lay down the groundwork real quick. Right at the end of October, there was a document filed, and Delirious, or his attorneys, or whoever ended up filing that, they're like, hey, we're no longer gonna be suing Ohmwrecker for our claims that we've made before. And some of their claims were false light, defamation, torturous interference, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and injunctive relief. And these are some pretty big claims to be suing someone for. So Ohmwrecker was definitely getting a defense ready for this, and he was going to try to prove, hey, I did not defame you at all. And again, vice versa. Ohmwrecker suing Delirious. Delirious was building up his defense for whatever Ohmwrecker was suing him for. And one of the key things in this is defamation. So I'm neutral in all of this. I expect a lot of people watching this are probably neutral. They're not on one side or the other. They would like to hear both sides before picking a side, or you just don't want to pick a side at all, like me. I don't really care for picking a side in this. People just want to know what's going on. But just imagine this for a second. Ohmwrecker is suing Delirious for defamation. So Ohmwrecker is claiming Delirious defamed him. So Delirious ends up having to build up a defense and saying, hey, the things I was saying are either true, or I totally believed them to be true, and there's reasonable doubt why to believe that it's true. And Delirious has said a lot of things about Ohm, and vice versa. Ohm has said a lot of things about Delirious. So Delirious sitting here saying, hey, you defamed me, and one of Delirious's claims towards Ohmwrecker, and the reason why Delirious was suing Ohmwrecker was for certain claims such as you messed around with minors, and you threatened a baby, and you did this, and you did this, and you made alt accounts, and you did all that. Ohmwrecker was saying a lot of things towards Delirious, which we are now kind of finding out some of it, like some of the alt accounts are real. Him being banned from Twitter is because he did make alt accounts and did some very bad things with alt accounts. We just don't know if a lot of the stuff with the minors are true or not. We still have to wait to hear more information on that, whether they are false or whether they are true. The threatening the baby thing's always been up in the air, and people have, kind of don't know whether or not to believe that because there's never been any hard evidence released about that. And these were a bunch of claims that Ohmwrecker was throwing at Delirious, and Delirious was suing Ohmwrecker for defamation. Now Delirious pulled his lawsuit, pulled a lot of his claims out of this and said, I'm no longer suing Ohmwrecker for this. It becomes very suspicious from me just being a neutral party and looking at this, and me talking to some legal people who are not at all associated with this case between the two of them. After I talk to people say, well, that's typically fishy because that means whoever pulled their lawsuit pulled their claims, which Delirious did in this situation. Whoever did that typically doesn't have a leg to stand on, and the reason why they're pulling it is usually because they don't want to have to go through that because they probably know they're not going to win that. Pulling your suit, pulling all those claims means you end up, one, saving a lot of money because you don't have to keep fighting on claims that you know you're not going to win, or two, you know that there's something that's going to have to be revealed because you have to prove if they were defaming or not. So the point being is that the fact that Delirious pulled all of his claims, one of them being defamation against Ohmwrecker, saying that Ohm defamed Delirious. Well, the fact that a lot of those claims are pulled, now everything Ohm has said about Delirious, we don't know if it's defamation or not. So some people are to believe, okay, maybe some of the things Ohmwrecker were saying about Delirious is true. We just don't know what is. And again, this isn't a video to say, oh, Delirious is a big bad person. That's not what this video is. This video is just saying the fact that Delirious pulled his lawsuit and is no longer going after Ohm for false light, defamation, torturous interference, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and injunctive relief. The fact that Delirious is no longer going after Ohm for a lot of these things means maybe some of them are true. Maybe some of them would reveal stuff that Delirious and his attorneys just wouldn't want. Maybe Delirious just doesn't want the headache of going after Ohm. He just wants to defend his own side against Ohm's claims. Maybe Delirious wants to take more time away from this and spend more time with family. Maybe Delirious just wants to save money. There's many different reasons on why he would probably pull away, but one of the most fishy things is that if Ohm clearly clearly defames you, Delirious, and you had a good case against it and being like, okay, clearly he defamed me and we have proof of that, then why aren't you continuing the lawsuit? I mean, you can pull individual claims. You can sit here and pull, like, out of the 5 or 6, 7, however many claims you have, you can pull individual claims and still go after the ones you want. You don't have to pull your entire claim and no longer go after the other person. You can just pull an individual claim saying, hey, we are no longer going to go after you for this claim. We're only going after you for these other claims. Delirious and his attorneys can do that, but they pull all of their claims. They're no longer going after Ohm. Ohm is no longer being sued. It's just Ohmwrecker suing Delirious. And as far as I'm aware, haven't talked to either side. The only thing I can say for certain is I don't think, and this is just me and my thought process, I really don't think Ohmwrecker is going to stop going after Delirious. I definitely think there's still going to be a lawsuit that's going to continue for a long time between them. And all I gotta say is I hope we end up getting the truth in the situation. Ohmwrecker threw a lot of allegations towards Delirious and vice versa. Delirious threw a lot of allegations towards Ohm. And I think at the end of the day, everyone watching this video, we can disagree. We don't really have to like each other's opinions, but what we all really do want is the truth. And if we can get the truth to a lot of these allegations, a lot of these claims towards each other, that would be the biggest thing. And Delirious pulling his lawsuit, no longer suing Ohmwrecker for very horrible things like defaming, causing intentional infliction of emotional distress, painting someone in a bad light, torturous interference with a sponsor. That was one of Delirious' claims against Ohm, is that Ohm contacted one of Delirious's sponsors or something like that. If all of those things really did happen and Delirious was saying, yep, Ohm did all of this stuff to me and it really did happen, Delirious should be keeping his lawsuit and he should still be fighting Ohmwrecker on that. If Ohmwrecker is wrong for that, you should still be fighting it. You shouldn't pull your lawsuit, pull all those claims. But again, with Delirious pulling his claims, it just looks fishy that maybe those claims were all bullshit, they were all BS, and maybe Ohmwrecker has the leg to stand on and Delirious doesn't. Or I could be completely wrong and there's a different reason. I'm just throwing out different ideas and theories, not saying one is definitively true, and I don't want to see anyone actually say that one theory of mine that I'm saying in this video is true over the other. I simply do not know. I'm a neutral party looking at this. All I gotta say is it looks very suspicious on Delirious' part to pull his lawsuit and for Ohm not to pull his. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Does this look fishy? Do you have any other theories or ideas on what is going on? Remember to be respectful. We're just theorizing, trying to figure out what's going on. This is the only information we really got at the time, so maybe there will be more information in the future that can clear this all up. If that's the case, I'll be more than happy to make an update video talking about what is going on. I might end up live streaming sometime tomorrow or the next couple days, so be looking out for that, and we can look more into this and more into the document. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.